嗨，我是 Jacky， 欢迎收听这一集的 Podcast。我们会分享去年台北区块链周 TBW 台北 Blockchain Week 主办方的回顾，我们觉得最精彩跟有趣的地方，还有我们筹备的脉络。跟前年有什么不一样的地方，我们也会提早公布今年是什么样的主题。这一集英文居多，但还是有很多的中文，希望你们会喜欢。Let's go.
Yeah, welcome back, Drew.
Hi.
Wow, what happened to the energy? The vibe is dead.
Disclaimer, we're all a little bit sick, well at least me and Andy are, so if you hear sniffling.
桌上有一大包卫生纸被查，突然把刚好拿药拿出来，这是什么情况？Yeah, so it feels like 感觉就是上次我们5个人坐在这边录这个 podcast， 感觉就是很最近的事情 ，but it's actually been a whole year, and this year went by just like that. Yeah, a lot of things happened this year. A lot of hard work by everyone. So why don't we kick off with the conference lead, Tiffany? You want to take us through the overview of this year on a very high level?
Yeah, so this year I think, tripled in scale if I'm being completely honest. Our goal was to do double, but this year we took over Songyan. We had 2 warehouses, 14th floor of New Horizon, the entire plaza over the whole week, and had over 5,000 people, over 400 to 500 developers. So we definitely kept our promise of scale, and I think that's why we're all a little bit tired this time around, just because there was just so much more that we had to do and prep for this whole event.
Yeah, we also scaled in illness. So last year we also announced the theme scale during the podcast. So we're going to continue the tradition this year. And speaking of the theme, I think Andy 是这个 scale 这个 theme 最可怜的because a lot of the work was went into production for doubling 1 stage to 2 stages, and then designing a completely new theme that has very well thought out. So I'll let you kind of walk us through 今年我们叫 scale， 然后你设计上是怎么样的想法去设计，然后最后设计出来你看到那个实体的样子跟你想象的怎么不一样？
OK， 那今年 scale 的话，其实第一个命题就是说，我们怎么样让我的第一个感觉去让大家怎么样，当他们到活动现场的时候，能够感觉到说这是一个非常盛大的一个活动。胜过说，可能跟过去，在台湾我们像我们第一届其实也是虽然说是有超过我们预期，但是我们怎么样再去做进一步的突破，然后让大家看到说，这个东西真的很大。对，那当然，刚Tiffany有提到我们的场地的，我们有不一样的，像是 warehouse， 还有我们的 New Horizon 14楼像这几个地方。那我们就想办法用每一个场地它自然的这个适合的设计，去让他们去凸显出他们的整个感觉。所以像你到 warehouse， 你就可以看到很明显的台北 Blockchain Week 的标准字样啊，然后还有我们的颜色啊，然后这些在广场上面，在会场当中，或者在各式各样的地方，其实你都希望可以被感染得到这样子。
这次的 theme 非常的 family friendly， 就是从云朵到这个色系是 prime color 的色系。对，你要不要跟我们讲一下这些一些你觉得可能别人没有发现的一些细节，你有花心思去做这些细节。
对，那延续去年，我们其实也还是希望说，可以让更多的人不要觉得说，区块链它是一个非常陌生，然后很冷的科技的一个东西，所以我们一样是用比较活泼的颜色，然后尤其是 primary color 也是从去年的红蓝黄去做一个 upgrade， 让它变得更 pop 更 bold。然后也其实现场也吸引到，我看到有蛮多小朋友，其实也很好奇说你们活动在做什么。对，那再来的话就是云朵的这些运用，其实也是一开始最初的启发。其实我们知道说，我们的第一个场地在这个14楼，它其实是可以眺望整个台北市跟台北101的。那我们也希望说，就是让那时候算是用视觉给大家一个 hint， 是说，我们这场地可能在一个比较高的地方。 对，那我们所以就开始沿用这样子的视觉的 cue， 然后他其实也很 fit in 说，我们希望给一个很 welcoming 很 approachable 的一个感觉。对，那我们就这样子做了这样子的结合。
OK， 所以我们等一下 announce 下一个 theme 的时候，你就会需要更多的。Yeah， 在古典 context， 我们去年的 theme 是 bridge， 然后前年的 theme 是 bridge。
前年
去年去年是 bridge， 这是我们第一次在台北办区块链周嘛，所以想说要 bridge 不同的可能国外跟台湾的一些资源跟连接，然后政府啊各种不同的民间 communities， 各种企业，所以今年就想把这 scale 整个做起来，and yeah we truly did that， 然后 amazing job designing。
对啊。
好，那其实去年跟今年很不一样的一个地方是，去年我们是先是 conference， 再来是 workshop。那今年我们做很不一样的挑战，就是我们先从 hackathon 开始，3天的 hackathon， 到后面2三天的 conference。所以我们的 hackathon lead Cindy 今天在场，然后 talk to us about the biggest difference you saw from flipping the order, from doing the dev stuff first, and then the formatting also changing from workshops to hackathon.
Yeah, I think one of the things we noticed from last year was the amount of people that showed up for these in-depth workshops. Realized there's obviously a huge interest in people to learn more technically about blockchain or any other types of like on-chain applications or related topics. So yeah, we definitely want to do the same thing this year, but add on a little bit more interactivity, like challenges, prizes, side activations. So we did a hackathon this year. We saw more people join. We had over $50,000 in prizes, which I think in DD is quick math. I don't know. I don't know. I forgot. It was it was quite a lot. It was big number. But yeah. So anyways, the prize is obviously a big incentive. But we also saw a lot of interest from the people that joined to get feedback from the mentors that we brought in, to kind of just talk to our sponsors and the ecosystems that joined, because they were already kind of developing on top of that, or to kind of just also meet other builders, potentially maybe their future co-founders. So we were really excited to be able to put an event like that together. I think that really, helps build and support the local environment of like building, and if you wanted to create something within the space here in Taiwan. And I think another big thing that we also noticed was last year we did the conference first and then the boot camp. But we also realized a lot of people are hungover because of the big parties. So we switched that around this year. Work first, party later. And I think, it kind of is just, it is just a nicer flow. So that was one lesson learned, I guess, from last year to this year, and something we implemented and changed.
Yeah, I felt like it gave us a bit more of a buffer time leading up to the conference to kind of be more mentally and kind of have all the stuff set up beforehand, a few days to kind of slowly ease into it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe what's one project that really stood out to you that you thought was really interesting that you saw?
Okay, well, that's another thing. So we did demo day, and out of, I don't know, we had like 69 projects. We didn't pick that number on purpose. That was actually the number of projects that was submitted. But we had 69 projects submitted, about over 20 that applied to showcase what they built on demo day. So demo day was just an event where they could show what they built over the 3 days, and then we had to pick 14 just because of time allocation. So we saw some really cool projects that were built in just those 3 days. I think one of my personal favorites was someone built like a AI generated storybook that you could create with your kids. So I thought that was a little very different from what we usually see, and it's kind of nice to see on-chain applications targeted towards different audiences and the next generation of users. children.
So it didn't have to be like blockchain specific. AI was.
Oh, and then you minted on chain.
Right on.
It was an NFT. Surprise.
Yeah, nice. Okay, awesome. Let's talk about PR. So we have our PR lead, Rinnie here. Yeah, so how did, doing a second year in a row, how is this year different than last year from like a PR perspective?
我觉得最大的不一样可能是去年的时候，比如说在 PR 这一块，我们可能要主动去联络很多的 media 嘛，或者 partner， 然后可能还没有什么 record， 所以你要很难有一些实际上的东西去有比较好的 narrative。那今年的话，其实其实下半年开始就非常多的国外的 media， 东南亚的啦，然后日本、韩国的也有，然后就是 reach out 到我们，所以可能加起来应该至少有20-30个，就是都是主动来找我们，所以我觉得蛮好的是去年的第一届的台北 Blockchain Week 其实已经有这 awareness， 所以很多的 media partner 都主动的来找我们，然后可能会问说可以今年会有怎么样子的exposure， 或我们的可能 speaker 啊，或者是活动的内容。所以我觉得，因为今年 compare with last year， 就是多了很多的 conference。去年可能是疫情之后的第一年，所以可能大家慢慢开始 travel， 但是今年其实就是到处都是 conference， 所以大家可能就是也会选择去，可能不光是 global 的，可能一些 regional 的。但我觉得很好的一点是，就是至少提到台湾，大家会觉得哦，那一定要去的是台北 Blockchain Week。
通常在 PR 这联络的时候，会有一个 narrative， 一个主轴。那可能你要跟记者说，这是我们今年有什么样的主轴啦，然后除了讲者重量级讲者是谁，然后在哪里办，有没有一些更多的 narrative？ 你有去加上去 paint a picture for 台北 Blockchain Week？
其实我是常跟那个一些国外的一些朋友在聊到说，台湾跟比如说 Singapore、Hong Kong， 然后或者是日本 Korea、Japan， 我觉得他们可能还就是比较大家都还是 appreciate 台湾比较多的 builder，就是大家去 Singapore 去 Hong Kong 可能就是为了 fundraising， 然后很多 investor 在那里，然后日本跟韩国的话可能就是 gaming 啊、IP 啊这一些的，但是真的就是台湾比较多的 developer， 包含很多的最近就是市场比较回来了嘛，所以大家可能开始说 recruiting， 然后最近也蛮多朋友会问我说，他们想要就是 hiring developer， 问我有没有可以就是推荐他们的，所以我觉得像台北 Blockchain Week 也是一个很好的 platform， 就是大家可以来这边就是 meet people， 然后 especially 台湾很多的 developer trader。
Nice, yeah. So 台湾的强项是 builders, so it's awesome we did hackathon, made it family friendly, and then on the PR side we also let people know that hey, Taiwan is friendly, very builder friendly. And to segue to that, 从这边 segue 到 programming, then speaking of a lot of conferences, we were at UCC, it's like in the summer, 6月前，然后we got Vitalik to come to Taipei Blockchain Week during that time. Do you want to tell the story? 怎么邀到 Vitalik 的？
我觉得这真的要说什么邀到 Vitalik 吗？
Yeah. Great story. Then transition to programming.
我去了 ECC 在 Paris， 然后去了应该是 StarNet 的 event， 然后我就要离开那个 event 的时候，我就走了几步，我就看到 Vitalik 迎面向我走来，然后我就跟他擦身而过，我就想说 ，OK， 刚那个是 Vitalik， 然后我想说 ，Should I invite him to come to Blockchain Week？ 然后我就想了2秒钟，我就转头，然后我就跑过去 ，Hey， Vitalik， nice to meet you. I'm Rinnie. I'm the organizer of Taipei Blockchain Week. Are you interested to come in the end of the year？ 然后他就说，就是他那时候是说 就是很开心啊，然后但他不确定他的那个行程嘛，但他就留了他的 Telegram 给我。
哦
Yeah， super friendly， yeah。
然后从那个 Telegram 就开始聊起来了，然后
对，我觉得他是真的很喜欢台湾。
对 OK， awesome。
所以希望明年也可以再让我在世界各地巧遇不同的 Tier 1 speaker。
Yeah. So speaking of programming， 就是我们说要 Italic， 然后要到Binance 的新的 CEO Richard Tang， 然后还有9gag CEO Ray Chan， 然后Animoca Brands 的 CEO Yatsui， 还有哪些你们印象很深刻的 speaker？ Republic Crypto， I thought that was really cool. Alex was great.
AMD，
然后 AMD AI from AI Hardware， 然后台湾大哥大的 Jamie， Africa Jamie， 我觉得是很好的台湾 startup 新创 tech 代表之一。I thought the speaker list this year was really good.
就我们今年很多那个 corporate， 就是 Web2 的一些大的公司，就是蛮不一样的。
对啊，然后我觉得也有一些就是我们也有讲到一些 AI 跟 Web3的之间的交集处，然后我们这次分2个 stage 吧，分 General Stage 跟 Tech Stage， 然后 General Stage 比较多像是VC investing，gaming， 然后 onboarding 这些比较 general 的 topic， 然后 Tech Stage 比较多是那种像 DeFi 啦、RWA、DIDs、DAOs Community、Priority 这种比较硬的 topic， 所以我觉得我们今年的分2个 stage。I think in the beginning it was kind of tough to categorize， 就是把分2个 stage 就是有点复杂。我们今年找到那个 Justin Chong， 那个创造的 Justin's son。Justin's son。Yeah, that was also interesting. And also one of the first times Richard spoke after being a new CEO. And 我觉得那时候分2个 stage, it was challenging in the beginning, but categorizing as tech general was made it easier for people to choose which one to go to and not FOMO the other stage.
所以我这边我也有一个小小观察，因为我去年我们是在一个 mall 里面嘛，我们的 conference， 然后就是一个 stage， 但我去年基本上我有走进去我们的那个就是进去里面听一些 panel 的时候，基本里面都是满的。去年的时候，所以其实去年蛮开心，也很 surprise， 因为一般很少在 conference 可以看到 always 就是里面都是 filled with people。然后今年其实我觉得也是差不多，我基本上走到那个14楼的 stage 跟 tech stage 两边，我就是不同的时间去，其实大部分里面也都就是7、8成满，所以我觉得蛮好的。而且今年很多可能一些我就是不是在 blockchain 这个 field 的朋友，然后他们会问我说，那就是他们可能都对 blockchain 不是这么的了解，会问我说有没有推荐他们去听什么 panel， 所以我觉得我们今年的 panel 主题就还蛮多元的。
我觉得那时候分2个 stage 的时候蛮担心说会把人流的分散，但其实都蛮满的，所以that was really good。然后说我们去年跟今年不一样的地方是，去年的 panel 一个就20分钟，然后一般都会塞到4个人，加一个 moderator 是5个人。然后今年我们说，我觉得这样有点太短，然后不够深 ，so we made it like usually 2 or 3 people and then 30 minutes long, so then they can actually go deeper into the topic. So I thought that was an improvement, in my opinion. Yeah.
I agree.
So that's it for programming. And I think I want to actually add 2 more topics, and then this one's back to you on side events. Let's talk about side events.
Oh my gosh, last year we had 30 plus, so we were like, okay, if we can have 60, I'd be happy, and then I think by 2 weeks before the event, we had like over 100. So imagine like Taipei is such a small city having over 100 side events throughout the entire week was crazy. But I think that proves the point that Taiwan is a great place to have a conference, because just a few weeks before, for example, I was at Istanbul, And getting from one side event to another side event, that was like an hour and a half just of traffic, of just commuting, picking which side event you want to go to. And I think because Taiwan, everything is so convenient, people can go to multiple side events a night and be able to meet the people they want to meet. And overall, there was great feedback that the audience or the people attending this year was very high quality in terms of networking and meeting different people, different kinds of people. And I think there's so many different types of events that we had for side events that they were able to find who they want to meet and very easily move from one place to another.
Any favorite side events you guys went to? Cindy, Rinnie?
我觉得很多 side event 其实蛮有趣的啊，就是有那个 golf， 然后还有那个 escaping room 密室逃脱，就是不是说的 always 就是 party， 就是我觉得蛮多。还有你办的 basketball，right？
3对3男女比赛。
Yeah, a lot of wholesome side event.
我们还办了几个真 nerdy 的，像是 DID 跟那个 decentralized science 的 technical 的 side event， those are fun too. All the just nerd gathering. And I know hackathon did like meditation, yoga. That was also really cool. Yeah. David Lin led the meditation.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, that was amazing. And I feel like to second that, I personally felt I saw a difference in like the side event styles from last year and this year. Maybe it's the market, I don't know, or maybe we're all just like, yeah, there's more than partying. But yeah, so the hackathon we did like meditation, which was great. There was a lot of people joining, so it was cool.
There was like a Now's Run Club every morning, and there was actually people running every morning, which I was kind of surprised because it was very consistent throughout the whole week. And I think it's good to have a diverse list of events and things other people want to do besides partying.
Yeah, for sure. What about Andy?
其实那周光忙 production 的事情，但是其实我蛮开心那一周，就我们刚开始的时候天气刚好超级。
Let's talk about the weather.
That was an anomaly.
Yeah.
I feel like I think like the gods were on our side. To be honest, like I didn't expect that, but yeah.
没下雨就算了，还是夏天天气，太冷了。
Beautiful.
然后万里无云这样子。对啊，
只有 TVW 里面有云。
对，所以那时候看到这样的天气，其实就是蛮开心的。当然也希望可以有多参与更多的参与然后去看看整个环境。但是对我真的很开心，就是可以感受到那个 energy 啦。从那个第一天早上到时候就看到有人开始要起跑步了。对啊，然后中间还有人就是有做瑜伽，有人在那个14楼的户外就是 meditate 什么的，所以就看到其实有非常非常多的多元的活动啊，就对啊。
我觉得今年跟去年的赛event最大的差别是去年是 very party intensive and
对，
但是 they're all very crazy and fun. 那今年是 very diverse.
对
There was parties, there was yoga, and everyone all 24小时都有人在做赛event. Party 到半夜跟早起做瑜伽、跑步都有，so really diverse. Yeah, everyone had their niche. They could find technical, general, partying, and wellness.
对啊，就希望明年也可以维持这样子的。对
Yeah, big fan of the wholesome events. And I think I want to add another topic on merch. Talk about merch.
Okay.
So 刚好上这边。So yeah, I mean last year the merch was Black Sweater 2022. Yeah, and this year it was a different direction, right? 粉红色的hoodie， 然后黑白的 varsity jacket。Walk us through 你在想这个 merch 怎么做什么样的形式的时候是怎么想的？
对，其实去年反应很好，然后所以今年有在一直从开头的时候就在想说，到底要做什么可以第一也是可以一样有好的反应嘛，然后第二就是可以结合说我们台保全位置在这个产业里面可以有的一些贡献，或者是things that we wanted to remind other people。对，那所以一开始的时候，其实我们在planning TVW 的时候，其实不是说那时候其实还是会担心说，市场的不确定性。那 但是我又很有信心的希望说把这个东西做起来，所以那时候就是设定了一个主题，就启发了我一个主题叫 Token of Love，就是希望说可以能够致敬说在这个产业跟Web3 里面持续努力的人们。那每一个人其实每个贡献，尤其在这种非常时期的时候，在这么早的这个产业的这个前沿，那每个贡献其实都是非常重要的。对，那 Token of Love 这句话，就是希望说你可以透过其实我们就是一是要代表说给这些贡献者的一句话，然后二其实我们去年也是希望说有在讨论，怎么样可以让我们的 merchandise 更实穿，所以我们就是这也是一个我们 intentionally去设计说我们的 merchandise 去稍微离开我们的conference 的 branding 的 a little bit， 所以大家不会说过了时间就可能觉得不太适合穿了，那它就变成说可以变成常穿的东西。对，那最后也结合了就是粉红色的这个颜色。那结合粉红色的话，一方面我觉得跟 Token of Love 是非常直观的一个颜色啦。另外一方面的话，我其实也是看到说今年就是不管是 Barbie 啊，或者是iPhone 啊，然后或者是其实我们的 conference 也是有结合，就是今年也有 Women's Stage、Women's Corner。That's right。对，所以它就是就是不管是在市场就是外力或者是内力，我觉得它都是非常适合的一个颜色。哇哦。对，所以我们才做这样子的结合。那今年我们就推出了hoodie跟外套，对，那也今年也一样卖完了。那反应还是就是今年也是蛮好的。那就希望说听到有蛮多声音说明年可以多出一点，不管是数量跟品相。对。
我觉得你可以在外面26度的天气把外套可以卖完，也蛮厉害的。要是天气冷点的话，应该是第一天就全没了。对，
因为前2天几乎是将近26、7度。
不得不说，今年在活动开始前，我大概至少5、6个朋友跟我说 ，Rinnie 可以帮我买吗？就是大家都很疯哦。
对啊。
对啊，你刚刚讲到就是有一点很酷，就是内外都很实用。然后你刚刚讲 Token of Love， 就是可能在表征上我们的 contributors，a lot of contributors。然后 I have the list in front of me, so we can take this chance to read out all the contributors as a token of thanks, gratitude from all of us. 然后我直接照网上的顺序念，就是 Andy Ann Design Lead, Cindy Lin Hackathon Lead, Curtis Social Lead, Daniel Duan Web Lead, Danielle Xu Developer Lead, Yisun Hu Partnership Lead, Gina Sun Production Lead, Jacky Wang Programming Lead, James Shi Side Events, Jen Lee Partnership, Jesse Cao Finance Lead, Jolie Yang Legal Lead, Josephine Tsai Partnership, Kai Hackathon, Karen Cao Sponsorship Lead, Calvin Chan Programming, Manish also Programming, Natalie Hospitality, Oliver on Operations, Rinnie on PR Lead, Sabrina on Social, Shelly on Merch, Tiffany Lai Conference Lead, Tracy Chen Hackathon, and Wellington on Legal Lead. So those are all our contributors and more. Not listed on the website, so you don't have anything.
So I think those are our core contributors. We have 25 core contributors, and that only means that they were at almost all of our meetings and had to, were pretty in depth with planning. But there were definitely a lot more people that came in when they could and helped out on site that weren't on the website.
Yeah, and of course that also extends to all community members that supported the event in many different ways, maybe just word of mouth or just like hosting a side event or like I think this year one thing to call out and it's interesting to talk about is how many things are happening around Taipei Blockchain Week, right? So let's talk about Women's Day, let's talk about their Store Summit, there's Fun in Commons, and there's DAO Taipei. All these different events kind of built on top of this week that we put together. So yeah, what do you guys think about all these different Women's Stage, Store Summit, Fun in Commons? So 今年其实蛮特别的，因为是很多活动都跟台北区块链周放在一起，而且我们就是变成一个有可能12月某一周或是某几个礼拜，大家就觉得这是来台湾搞 blockchain 的时候， 然后今年从饭店的 Commons 开始2天是12月8号9号，然后讲 public goods， 就是什么公共财 ，how do you use blockchain to empower public goods, public funding, through like quadratic funding, for all these different mechanisms. That was very interesting. You're in a niche, but I think a lot of people came to that, and then it was a very niche crowd, but everyone who was there was extremely like smart and had a lot of interesting ideas to share. So I think that kind of kicked off the week, and then maybe someone will talk about Women's Day, Solar Summit.
Yeah, sure. I think that's what our vision for Taipei Blockchain Week has always been, like being the anchor that brings people to Taiwan. I think we have to do it in December because a lot of us are, flying in to be with our families. So it does put us in a tough spot because in December, it's Q4. Most projects or ecosystems already had have all their budgets sorted. So it's actually pretty tough for us to even do it in December, realistically. And I think for us to be able to be the anchor and bring more people in is kind of like our ultimate goal. And this year, Sora Summit, for example, is very Bitcoin, DeFi heavy, so it's always great to have a niche there. We decided to do She Scales a women's summit mainly because we wanted to make sure that we have diversity in Web3 and in tech, and then the whole day was dedicated to women leaders who can, just showcase their talent and their skills and their experience without having it to be like, oh, why are you on this woman? And as a woman, what do you think? We didn't really have that issue. It's more like, hey, we're all at the same level. Can we talk about these topics as experts? So I think we wanted to extend that so that we can bring in not only more people from outside of Web3, we had tech, AI, media, people to come in to talk about it, but give an incentive for other people outside of our industry to come in. So those two are just two features from our events, but I know there's just a bunch of other things that were happening. Like there was Rewire the Block, or there's a lot of things. Like
the Curve Summit.
Yeah, the Curve Summit. Yeah, so I think we would love that. Like if we can bring more events to Taipei and more speakers willing to fly out, especially during the holidays, I think that's a big win for all of us and all of Taiwan.
Yeah, and Sora Summit also featured Brian Armstrong to talk about his new DeSci project. I think it was his first time talking about it publicly too, so that was super cool that day. Got Brian Armstrong to start the day off for Sora Summit. Yeah. So, and we also had DAO Taipei, which is very niche, and it was at a warehouse. So it was really like a paper factory, so that was really cool. Vitalik also spoke about DAOs. So I think what I think is really cool is all these different events are all like symbiotic, like positive sum to each other. 都是更好，就是越多活动，其实越多 speaker 会更多 incentive 来，他们来可以一次在参加很多不同的活动，在很多不同地方都讲，然后会参加 hackathon， 参加各种不同 niche 的 conference 跟 side event。所以我觉得就是整个把 ecosystem， 像刚刚 Tiffany 说的。在台北是12月的一个 anchor， 然后让大家都这个时候来台湾 build 起一个让台湾在 Web3 国际舞台上发亮的一个 ecosystem. Yeah. So, going to the next. Anything else you guys want to share about this year? Any other topics that we didn't cover?
Actually, I do want to shout. I guess like we could talk about it's kind of like as part of the side events and like all these extra things, but the hospitality part is probably like it was a larger add-on this year versus last year. We did have a little bit of like a where to stay list, but this year we actually worked with a lot more of local Taiwan partners within hospitality. So I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah, shout out to Natalie for handling all of that. There was a lot of coordination between all the different hotels, and I think by the 2 or 3 weeks beforehand, all the surrounding hotels were booked. So hopefully next year you guys can book early so that you can get the decent prices.
Somewhere to stay.
Somewhere to stay, decent prices.
We got a lot of complaints like. Some of the hotel it's not our fault.
I mean, we posted things really early, and so I think next year is just taking advantage of that and then, plan early just because I feel like it's just going to grow from here and, we just want to make sure everyone has a good time.
Yeah. So, yeah, building on top of, let's talk about the year before, Bridge and the scale, and then we can announce the next year's theme. But like comparing to last year Bridge, previously mentioned how we kind of things kind of 怎么样去堆叠, and maybe just quick comparison to the year before, we tripled in size, both in speakers, both in attendance, both in side events.
Wow.
Yeah, any other things you guys want to maybe call out that was different this year and last year? I think we covered a good amount of that already too, so there's nothing else.
设计上也可以设计上可以补充一下啦，就是因为去年的2022的场地，其实那时候我们也比较budget 没有像今年稍微好一些了。那去年的话，我们都是其实用比较阳春的设备的。那今年的话，其实因为除了 scale， 我们也知道说有非常多的长官啊、贵宾啊，他们来到台湾，那我们也希望说能够让大家看到我们的舞台是一样符合他这个 skill 之名的。对，那所以我们今年也是有开始进入到说，不管是舞台的灯光啊、音效啊、跟视讯这些，其实我们都希望说能够带来一个更棒的体验，不管是对为我们的来宾，或者是为了来自全世界的这些attendees 贵宾们。对啊，所以这个是我们也是今年跟去年就是有策略不一样的地方。
舞台灯光效果真的是蛮屌的，不得不说。Yeah， 音乐啊那些，哇 ，damn that's cool。Yeah。
然后我想补充一下，就是 I think our sponsors and just ecosystem partners in general. I think last year, from this year to last year to this year, we had a high retention rate of sponsors. For example, I think our goal as the conference is always to under promise, over deliver. I guess I think. We really value our sponsors that supported us, for example, from the first year to the second year, and we've gotten a lot more this year. For example, Sui is our lead hackathon, Avalanche, Google Cloud has come back. We have a lot more sponsors this year. I think our goal is always to make sure that they are highlighted because we really do appreciate their support. I think every year after year, because of their belief, their trust in us, we are able to kind of grow it even bigger. And as a value of the organizing team, we care about the experience, the quality. I think for some people, conferences are just an out of the box. We'll just give you a booth and that's it. I think for us, it's really about the immersive experience. Whether it's like adding a little logo to your the photo booth, or like we're trying to do whatever we can to amplify our sponsors as much as possible. So definitely encourage people who are here and then interested partners to come join us next year as well.
Yeah, that's a great call out on retention. I think that really speaks to the level of quality that we deliver, the value we deliver to attendees, sponsors that we want to come back and support us again, and even big scale.
Totally, and definitely a shout out to Karen, Eason, Rinnie, and just like the fundraising team, just because fundraising is always the hardest part. We always fundraise pretty much from the beginning every year, and then whatever it's left over from this year, let's say we'll pass it on to next year, but because we scaled up, we definitely spent more than what we originally planned for, but I think we knew it was necessary because we wanted to show our attendees and our sponsors like our capabilities, so that next year if we can go bigger or better quality, I think they can entrust that we'll do our part to make sure the experience is even better.
我也补充一下，就今年蛮好的是那个 conference 的那几天，其实有很多 government 的人来嘛，就是有不同的协会啦，或者是不同的政府单位。然后我觉得，因为比如说像香港跟新加坡，他们可能有很多的 regulation 是很支持 blockchain， 但是台湾这一块可能就比较模糊一点，所以我觉得，比如说去年跟今年。蒋安市长都有来担任就是开场的嘉宾嘛，然后我觉得这个东西对实际上的就是 blockchain 在台湾的推动其实蛮重要的，因为比如说就连 今年我们自己很多 contributor 的爸爸妈妈都有来，就是比如说我爸妈好了，我平常跟他们可能解释我工作 blockchain 在做什么，他们可能都还是听不太懂，但是至少说他来，然后看到哦，就是我们在做的事情，然后有这么多的 speaker 或者是现场的这一些应用等等的，我觉得对整个的这个产业要就是推动，其实是蛮重要的。I think that's very important for the conference.
Yeah, and I think this year what I think Andy did really well was the plaza. So just having a Christmas tree that has time in blockchain week, even if people don't really know what it is, they're taking photos, they're interacting with it. We had a big screen that had, you know, Web3 101 topics, just so that if people walk by, they might be able to catch a glimpse of what blockchain is or any of these words. So I think that was really helpful in bridging a little bit more like the normies and, you know, crypto curious people to the, to the conference.
Yeah, I love how our themes kind of interconnect with each other. This year we scaled bigger, and we're still bridging these really important bridges between government, different enterprise communities, and the general public. Very important to kind of bridge to the general public to make the design friendly and welcoming to people, to welcome all the builders, and then have really strong PR narratives to showcase the bright spot of Taiwan. And so, you know, continuing on to next year's theme, drum roll. So, well, let me give some context first on. This kind of on maybe next year's theme, right? Because bridging, scaling is all very important. But everyone knows this year has been the bear market, right? And then, when you're in your bear market, and this is kind of just my personal opinion, so it's not on behalf of the team or anything, but just kind of what I think. Like in the bear market, you really can tell what things are working, what things are not. What do you have when you have product market fit? What's actually applicable, useful to the daily lives, right? So blockchain 很多时候大家觉得只是一个那些很懂技术的人或是很有钱人在玩的东西，然后对一般人民众可能没有无感，或是觉得说跟我没有关系，就是用不到的东西，就是一个噱头，大家赚钱用的噱头，不管是 NFT 或者什么什么。所以我觉得之后 blockchain, very important for it to be very integrated in our daily lives, whether it's through merch, BuZhiDAOs, all different applications that 真的是民众一般人是感觉得到有用的，甚至 they don't even feel it, 没有感觉 they don't even know they're using blockchain technology. It's just like infrastructure level, and then the products they're using, whether it's Starbucks coupons or credits or whatever, it's like, oh wow, or this is so cool, so useful, without even knowing. 我的爸妈都不知道他在用一些 crypto 的东西，但觉得说这个东西新的产品很好玩，然后很有用。So the context is there. So after this bear market, we really think it's important for the next stage of blockchain to evolve is to create applications that are useful to the general public and to onboard and help with mainstream adoption into the Web3 space. So the theme for next year will be, drum roll, Taipei Blockchain Week, on board. Woo! My other questions. Yeah, do you guys want to add anything to that kind of train of thought? Or you可能对 onboard 这个字有什么的想法？ When you think of onboard, what do you think? And how do you 你怎么想这个事情？从 Rinnie 开始好了，换你开始。
onboard new user.
Yeah, onboard 其实很多 is onboard new user, onboard new technology, onboard new use cases, onboard new organizations, government. And I think a lot of more people have to be onboarded, and if the technology is mature and easy to use enough.
我觉得 onboard 是蛮重要，就比如说常跟一些不是在那个 blockchain 的朋友聊天，然后他们可能知道我在 Web3 blockchain， 大部分人第一个会问我说，那你觉得我要买什么 crypto？ 你可以推荐我买什么币？ 然后我就说 but I'm very risk-averse， 就是我觉得 blockchain not equal to crypto， 对，所以我觉得是，但他们可能就对 blockchain 就像你讲的，他们可能觉得 very technical， 他们不知道实际上的应用到底是什么，所以我觉得on board more people to see the like future of Web3 blockchain metaverse. Yeah. Our goal next year.
Yeah, I think in terms, I guess maybe we can speak about the hackathon side. Last year it was just boot camp, so it was anyone that was interested in learning more technical can attend. But I also noticed this year I did get a lot of questions like, if I wasn't a hacker, can I still join? And the answer is yes, right? We still want you to be able to listen to the workshops, talk to people, meet cool new builders if you want. So to me, like onboard is really just if you've got an interest or a question, you can join and maybe hopefully learn something new. And I don't know, this was just in my head, but I think other things that we did was, it was dog friendly. So we were onboarding. Yeah, basically onboarding. Yeah, not just humans, but dogs and animals. But yeah, I think basically what I'm trying to say is like more use cases for blockchain. Yeah, on to the next.
OK， 我觉得蛮刚好的啦，因为我觉得从一开始我们从 Bridge 然后到 Scale， 其实过去2年，如果你要说我们真的说完全准备好了吗？我觉得其实也还是会有点心虚了。那但第1年我们不可能做到，不可能就是其实第1年是我们第一次办，那所以我们很多东西不是那么成熟。那这次办了以后呢，我们当然就是很多事情我们变得更有条理了，做了更多的更好的准备。那只是因为刚好是主题是 scale， 有点过大，
规模化过头
了。对，但是我觉得经过这次的洗礼啊，然后这次这样子这个前后的这个差距，那我觉得我们也做好更多的，不管是心理或者是甚至对整个计划这样子的准备。那我觉得 on board 这件事情可能对在明年的这个主题会是非常刚好，因为不管是我们可能在计划上，在我们的心灵跟我们的所准备上，其实都是更成熟，更做足了功课跟准备，知道说我们要怎么样去面对接下来不管是 Web3 或是在台湾这个产业的发展。那我们就是今年跟去年比，还有明年跟今年比，我觉得最大的差别其实就是我们越来越清楚说我们的目标在哪里，那我们怎样把这个东西做得更好更棒。所以 on board 就是希望对我来讲，我就是希望说，不管是世界各地的专业人才，或者是投资人也好 ，builder 也好，然后技术上面的东西，不管是应用也好等等的，那都希望可以一起带到台湾这样子，然后可以 on board 世界各地的人，也 on board 台湾在地的人，对啊。
Well said.
So well said. Co-sign that. I think everything that everyone else said, and I think just being in the industry for the past year, I think we'll see a lot more use cases now, especially during enterprise. I think this year we wanted to bring in AI enterprise because we see that trend happening, and the reason why I think we haven't seen it maybe in the news as much because enterprise, it takes such a long time to just onboard, just to prep the infrastructure for big businesses. So I think next year is going to be a time where even more enterprises or big corporations are starting to use Web3 and we don't even know it. So I think it's being able to kind of prep them so that next year we want to be able to bring more Web2 people or just like people to learn about crypto and see these use cases and be able to have a conference where we integrate these cases and through engagements. I think Andy has done such a great job this year, kind of like prepping the groundwork of what could be done. And I think next year it's about even thinking a little bit more on how that user journey of attendee coming here and experiencing things in a deeper level. And then also I think it's onboarding all of our partners even more, like integrating government or integrating these communities in a more thoughtful way. Or even in side events, we're thinking about like, hey, if you're thinking about like as a gamer, if someone wants to do gaming, can we have that journey for them in side events where they know exactly where to go if they want to learn about gaming, if they want to learn about Taiwan media, or just like different infrastructures happening, like figuring out that user journey for each person and kind of onboard them in an authentic way so they feel that when they come here they have a purpose and they leave feeling that they've accomplished what they wanted to do when they're here.
Wow, that was so well said by everyone. Yeah, I think to add just a tiny bit there on the technical side, I think the topic scale this year was really cool because it brought in technologies that's not just blockchain. We brought in AI, we brought in other stuff, and I think from a technical perspective, to truly onboard the general masses, it requires the interconnection, leveraging every technology there is out there, whether it's Web 2, AI, Web 3, hardware. So I think this also sets the stage nicely for us that we're Taipei Blockchain Week, but we're not just constrained to purely Web 3 blockchain NFTs. We're every tech that helps people onboard into better quality of life, better applications, better use cases is applicable to Taipei Blockchain Week. So yeah, I think for the last closing thought and closing question is, our mission is the mission we set out last year was we build the Web3, Taiwan Web3 ecosystem on the global stage. And I feel like we stayed true to this mission and contributed greatly to the Taiwan's presence on the Web3 ecosystem. Yeah, I guess any closing thoughts on our mission, what we're doing, and what to look forward to next year. Start here.
OK， 那我觉得，因为在准备的过程之中，我当然是非常非常的 focus。那在过程其实当然还是会担心说，我们大家这么努力，是不是当这个活动来的时候，我们就是大家可能会有更多，我们有办法去感染到更多的人，然后让大家一起觉得说，一起可以推动台湾这一块的，不管是产业也好，应用也好，整个 community 的生态，希望是有一个可以正面的影响。对，那其实我觉得我最后想要讲的就是说，当活动开始的时候，然后其实看到现场真的有非常多的人来支持，不管是国外，尤其还有国内也是，就是非常多到现场，然后我真的是非常非常的感动啦，就是因为大家其实都知道说，这件事情其实就是今年是其实非常不容易的，对，那大家还是买票进来支持，然后去支持他们喜欢的 speaker， 或者是甚至来体验看看，带他们的家人朋友。对，我觉得这个是我对最后想补充，非常开心的一件事情。
I guess I'll go. I think going off of that, my wish for next year is to have more just ecosystem collaboration in Taiwan. Because I think a lot of the first 2 years, I think people mainly know us as like these random expats who just decided to like create a conference, and we are kind of still outsiders a little bit. I think we've integrated really well this year because of all that we've done, and I think we made an effort to show that we do care about Taiwan, even though sometimes we don't know all the processes and we all the government stuff. We're really bad at that. Like we're just a little oblivious. I think next year it's really about, I think we just want the entire Taiwan ecosystem to come together. Like we want it to be built with everyone. Even though we have core contributors, we want to work with more partners, with more people in the ecosystem, and really build this together. And that's kind of like my biggest wish. I feel like sometimes Taiwan, not in Web3, just in general, can be kind of fragmented. And then our value always stands. Like we're open to working with anyone. If you have good intentions, if you want to, be with us and understand and contribute to our mission, like we open you guys with welcome arms. And I just hope that we can do that more this year and, still keep the collaborative effort, good vibes, but know that this is something that we want all of Taiwan to share. It's not just ours. Like Taipei Blockchain Week is for everyone.
One small correction I'll make to that is being known as a group of expats. 其实我们还蛮在地的，我们很接地气。因为我们其实很多 contributors 都在台湾，住台湾。
Totally.
It's a fusion mix of like expats coming back in December and 在地台湾人。
It's just a misconception. It's a misconception, But totally, I think like we are friendly and we are, we can speak Chinese,
中文很好，
就 OK 的。
I'm just nodding. Does not agree like that.
那我 echo， 对，我觉得就是台北 Blockchain Week 真的就是这2年都这么成功，我觉得真的是因为我自己讲这一句好像很骄傲，就我觉得我们真的是很 dynamic， 就是比如说 Tiffany 啊，或者是其他很多 contributor 可能 base 在国外，所以我觉得这个 conference 很多人跟我说，就是去年就好多人说，今年也是，就是说你们办的真的很 global， 很 international， 就是很不像一个 local 的 group 办出来的，然后我觉得这是这么吸引这么多，就是不管是台湾的人或者是国外的人来，一个很重要的原因。然后，如果是明年的 goal 的话，我觉得就是希望 Taipei Blockchain Week 不是只是一个12月出现1个礼拜的一个 conference。就比如说今年其实有一些朋友是可能几个月前就 plan 要来，然后他们可能会跟我说哦 Rinnie 那我去的话，你可不可以帮我 connect 谁谁谁，或者是他的一些 project， 他可能想要找 user 啦，还是找一些 media 的 exposure 啦，或者是他想要认识 VC 什么的。我觉得，就是我们这所有的人，这整个 team， 大家真的是 very helpful， 然后都会想办法说，就是给他们更多的 resource or connection， 就真的是 connect people。那我觉得。比如说 conference 之后很多的合作可能是后面发生的，然后我觉得这个东西是可以 sustainable， 然后也希望说就是大家12月的时候每年12月会想要来台湾，然后就是回到自己的国家，或者是 conference 结束之后，这些合作或者是 connection 都可以继续延续下去。
I like the sustainable 这个字 yeah, not just like
future theme.
Yeah, I think what's important is we're pretty, I think, unique as a conference, as like being based in Taiwan. We really deliver something new and different. There's a reason to actually come to Taipei Blockchain Week, to come to Taiwan to explore the blockchain scene here as well. So I think that's also important as part of our mission, right? That's kind of like the why we're trying to bring Taiwan to the global stage. That we know as like people that either come to visit, that aren't really based here, but are based here. We all know that there's something special about the community here. So that's something that we just want to highlight. Bring to the stage. And yeah, hopefully we can bring on more partners, more people to make this bigger, better. Would be exciting this year, next year.
Yeah. I think maybe I want to bring it back. Like, I think it's our team is like we're a very unique team, a unique group of people to be able to kind of pull this off, because we're a really good mix of different talent, different disciplines, and also different backgrounds internationally. In Taiwan, 我们有台湾长大、出生长大的人，然后我们有可能在美国工作，在欧洲、在日本、在各种地方，所以我们每个人带来一个不同的，不管是技术，或是技能，或是专业，或是不同的背景跟想法。所以因此可以让这个 conference 可以同时国际化 ，international and connect to a lot of different things, but also 也是很接地气。Like we love our local partners and communities. They've been so supportive. I think last year when we were like when we were starting, they're like, oh, say, who's doing content? Who are these people, right? And then our silly name, BuZhiDAO, they're like, what the fuck? Who are these people, right? But it's still like, after kind of like, talking to a lot of people and really showing them what our mission is and what we're about, and they, just believed in us when we haven't had any track record. And now that we did it last year, this year was, also they're still there. We talked about earlier, retention of all the community supports, sponsors. So I think to close it off, it's truly amazing year. Another year for onboard, and we talked about our themes from bridge to scale, through all the different verticals, the conference overview, through design, hackathon, PR, programming, side events, merch, Token of Love, Women's Stage, Source Summit, all these different events around Taipei Blockchain Week, and our mission to really bring Taiwan to the global stage, and why we want to call it the next theme, onboard, not just from a technical perspective of bringing all technology together, AI, hardware, Web 2, Web 3, but also onboard a lot of different use case applications to the general public, and making it friendly, open to anyone, easy to understand. You can walk by a Christmas tree in a plaza and, oh wow, Taipei Blockchain, what's that about, right? And so really excited for next year, and still stay true to our mission of building the Taiwan Web3 ecosystem on a global stage, along with our our supporters, communities, local partners, and everyone in government. So I think that's it for today. Any last closing thoughts before we
See you in December.
see you December?
See you in December.
Next time we do this, it's gonna be like just like that. Oh my
I hope
God.
we're doing this.
What's the next theme? It's the same. Okay, well, thank you everyone, and then thank you for coming to Taipei Blockchain Week, of course, if you're there. If you weren't there, thank you anyway for supporting us and listening to this and hearing about us. And we invite you to join the missions. All right, see you next year. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Woo!